Hello, guys. Welcome to another episode of the Otumba Adams Show. Okay, I think I just made a mistake somewhere. I need to correct something. All right, so how are you guys doing? How has been the weekend? How is life generally? And let me quickly correct this mistake I made, and voila. All right. Okay, so how are you guys? How is life? How has the weekend been? Did it rain over there? It rained cats and dogs for just 5 minutes here, and it's a lovely day. It's another beautiful day, and I am happy that I am here again. All right, so this is the 80th episode of the Otumba Adam Show, and so far so good. It's been lovely, right? I'm enjoying the growth so far. And yeah. So thank you guys for sticking around all this while, right? For those of you that always come around to encourage me, they're like, dude, you're doing a very great job. You whatever what you teach has had a great impact in my business. So thank you guys for those of you that this show has actually impacted on. All right. So we have 20 more episodes before the end of this year. And I want to believe that like it's something that is achievable and we can actually get there. All right. So today's topic, ways to effectively sell your business. That is what we'll be looking at today. Ways to effectively sell your business. All right. So a lot of us, definitely, we as business owners, we as entrepreneurs, we as freelancers would always want to like make sales, would always want to get new customers and all that. But how do you actually do it? I know that like I have treated something similar to this, but this is another angle that I am bringing into this topic all over again. So if you hear some words that I might have made mention of in previous episodes, bear with me. And maybe, just maybe, I make mention of certain points that are in other episodes that I actually fleshed out. In those episodes, I would advise you to go back to watch those episodes. Now, if you're watching me live and you would like to introduce yourself, all right, so it's past 6 p.m. in Nigeria right now. And if you're watching live right now, you'd like to introduce yourself, please put your name and your location in the comment section, and I would welcome you, especially before I grab my notes and then we kick off for what kick off on what we have for today. All right. So I'm seeing someone, I'm seeing you. Just introduce yourself and then before you run off. All right. So while we're waiting for that, let's dive right into what we have for today. I have limited time and I'll try as much as possible to go through everything within 10-15 minutes. Yeah, let's see if I can get that done. All right, number one on the list is define your customer's persona. Now, I know that like I've actually treated this topic in the past, right, where you get to know who exactly your customer is. Who do you want, or who is most likely going to buy from you? All right, based on people that have bought from you in the past, or people you feel are going to buy from you in the future. All right. So you create a kind of avatar of your ideal client's persona, right? Their location, if they're actually based in a particular location, their gender, their age range, their beliefs, their tribe. What else? Again, are they youths? Are they younger? Like, what certain apps do they use most, and all those kind of things. Like, once you know how to build your client's persona, then you're good to go. You're really, really good to go. All right. So moving on to number two is research about them before reaching out. All right. So one of the things that like you need to ask yourself is this: okay, where do these people hang out? Right? Where have they posted on? What have they talked about so far? All right. Now it depends if you're trying to like reach out to a business or you're trying to reach out to an individual. All right. You need to know, once you've known their avatar, right? Then ask yourself, okay, what is it about them? Where do they hang out? Where have they been posting on? What have they been up to recently? Because you really, really need to do your research about these people before you even try to like reach out to them. All right. If they're on certain Facebook groups, know the type of Facebook groups that they are on, right? If they've posted something, or if they post more on Facebook than on LinkedIn, if they post more on what's the word now, on Twitter than on another platform, or probably like they use multiple platforms at the same time, know these things about them, right? Like do your homework about them, because you don't just go to meet someone without having an idea what the person is about and what the person spends more time on. It's just like you trying to woo a lady and then like you know nothing about her, and like you're just gallivanting and like you're just swinging your arms like, hey, I'm gonna go and talk to this person. Like it doesn't work that way. You need to know more about the person before you actually reach out to that person. All right. So that's that about that. Do more research about your client, all right, that you want to sell to. Then moving on to number 3, we have bond with them. All right. So now you've known so much about them, right? And let's say you even approached them or they approached you. The first contact you have is not the the time that is best for you to sell. You do not sell the first moment they come in contact with you. However, try as much as possible to do or to bond with them. All right. Bond with your um bond with the person that you want to sell to. All right. Get to know a little bit about them. Ask them regular questions. So, how are you today? What brought you here? What are you up to? What are you doing in your life at this very point in time? Like, get to know them. Let them, like, because literally everybody that you're going to meet, right, has this barrier around them. And in trying to bring down the barrier, right, you need to show that you actually care about them. And trying to show that you care about them, you have to ask questions, right? Bond with them, try to know more about them, like the very basic questions about them, right? Like, okay, so what are you into? Are you a Chelsea fan or an Arsenal fan? Like basic menial things that you feel that like they're not relevant, that they're not relevant, but however, they are very, very important on the long run, because people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. So take the time to try to like bond with them, know them better, right? Create that conversation with them, all right? Become their friends. It's very, very important. Once you're able to do that, then it would warm up the hearts of your potential clients, right? Remember, they are like a cold audience that you're trying to like bring in to buy from you on the long run. All right. So learn to bond with them. Then afterwards, number 4 on my list is always learn to give value. All right. Always learn to give value. It's very, very important. Sales would always come, definitely, but ask, okay, how can I be of help to you? What are you going through right now in your life that is related to XYZ, right? Like, how can I so once you know the problem that they are facing at the moment, then you can start giving value to those problem, like trying to find solutions to them. Now, on the long run, you may now link the solution that you created for them to the product that you're trying to sell. But the initial part is you giving value. They need to trust you enough to know that, like, hey, this person is an authority in this thing. Yes, he's going to sell to me on the long run, but at this point in time, he's trying to like help me to solve basic things that I have issues with. Now, I'm going to say this: you have to be very, very careful, because there's some people that like they want to take advantage of the fact that like, hey, you are trying to give value to them, and then like they're always trying to like sap everything out of you. Be very, very wary of these people, right? You don't want to have dealings with them. Yes, give value, but when it is going overboard, right? When it's going beyond what you should give on a very good deal, when they're trying to get premium information for free from you, then know that like these people are users, and nah, you should stay far away from them. But on the long run, always give value to people, because that in itself will show them that like, hey, you're an authority in that field. Let's say, for instance, now you are okay. I had a chat with someone today. She said she's going to come to watch this program, right? And she sells perfume. Okay. Now we know you sell perfume, but beyond the perfume that you sell, right? There are other things that like are related to those people's lives that are important to them, that you can actually give tips on, value on, right? How to okay, let's say for instance now you're selling perfume, right? But you could actually create a post on how to dress smart to a dinner, how to appear uh, like a gentleman, how to dress well as a lady for an event. You know, all those kind of information that, like, yes, it is not yet related to what you want to sell to them, but when these people see the information that you're giving to them, and then they are like, wow, okay, this person is actually very, very vast, very, very knowledgeable, then they will trust you enough to the point that, like, when you now come around to try to sell to them, they'll be like, yes, if this person could actually give great value when it came to this or that or all those, then that means that, like, if I'm going to commit my money to this person, then I am making a right investment. All right. So that is that number 4. Always give value. Number 5 is fill in the gaps by asking questions and listening to their response. Now, while you are creating your ideal client persona, right? While you were trying to like build up an avatar, um, you might have missed certain things, right? Certain pain points that your ideal customer or the customer that you're trying to sell to might actually have. So ask them questions, all right, to know much more about their pain points. Now, once you're able to know exactly what their pain point is, then it is going to be easier for you to sell to them on the long run. All right. But if you're assuming that, like, okay, that's let's say for instance, you are let's go back to the perfume scenario, right? You're trying to sell the perfume, and then you are telling the person that, like, hey, that if you what's the word? That if you buy this perfume, you are going to smell good. Now, smelling good may not be the person's core pain point. The person's core pain point might be that, like, I don't have enough confidence to talk to this lady, right? And then you could, by asking the question, trying to know what exactly the person is going through at that point in time, their pain point, right? You can now find a way of channeling the what's the word now? Your product to what the person is facing. Yes, you're going to give all the solutions to the problem, right? And then you also chip what you're selling in at that point in time. Now, that way, the person would know that, like, okay, you've been able to solve, like, you've given me a total package of how I can actually solve the current situation I'm facing at this point in time. You could say that, like, okay, fine, you need to build your confidence. You need to you need to talk boldly when you're talking to a woman. You need to not talk too slow or too fast, but you just talk at a particular pace. And then you also need to smell nice, because ladies love a man that is confident, that also smells nice. Now, remember, you're bringing your perfume into the scenario of what you're trying to sell. The person's original pain point is that, like, I don't have enough confidence to talk to a particular lady, right? But you found a way to answer the person's question and also bring the solution, which is what you're trying to sell, into the whole thing. Okay, which is very, very important. All right, so that's number 5. Number 6 is approach your sales pitch based on their personality type. Now, if you've ever read anything that has to do with temperaments or personality, you know that, like, there are 4 major personalities that are there, right? We have the sanguine, the melancholy, the choleric, and the phlegmatic. Now, each and every one of them have key areas that they are strong at and that they are weak at. Now, if you're going to sell to these people, know what their personality is and know how you're going to bring in your point, because each person's personality is different, and selling to each person based on their personality has to be different also. You cannot use the same approach for one person and you think that, like, it's going to work for the next person. It's not going to work. It will definitely not going to work. So you need to know what their personality is, and then based on that, approach them with what you're trying to sell. All right. And number 7 is use emotional triggers to your advantage. Use emotional triggers to your advantage. Now, this right here is very, very key. One thing that you need to know is this: people take decisions, or people make decisions based on emotions. It may not necessarily be fact, but they make decisions based on their emotions. And if you know the right words to say that can trigger their emotions, then you would be able to sell that product to them. You'll be able to make more sales. All right. Now, there are sites where you can easily Google power words. All right. Try to look for the power words and then learn how you can inculcate these same power words into your sales when you're trying to sell to someone. All right. I've talked about it during my copywriting class. If you missed that part, you can easily go back and then watch it. All right. So learn to use power words that would trigger emotions that would cause them to buy from you. And then lastly on my list is create a fear of missing out. All right. If you make them feel as if this product is going to be here forever, and then they'll just be like, nah, I can always come back to buy it. But if you make them feel as if, hey, this thing, if you don't get it ASAP, if you don't get it the next 3 days, 5 days, it is most likely going to run out because I just have like, this is the last of it that I have. So you either buy it now or buy it tomorrow morning, and then it is yours, or else like somebody else might actually pick it up from me and you'll not be able to get it anymore. All right. So it's very, very important. Create a fear of missing out in their hearts, and it will trigger them to also want to buy from you. And on this note, I've come to the end of today's class, which is ways to effectively sell your product. All right. If you follow these points that I have listed let me quickly take them one last time. All right. Number one, define your customer's persona. Number two, research about them before reaching out. All right. Do diligent research on them. Number three, bond with them. Number four, always give value to them. All right. Number five, fill in the gaps by asking questions and listening to their response. And number six on the list is approach your sales pitch based on their personality type. Number seven is use emotional triggers to your advantage. And number eight is create a fear of missing out. And with this few points of mine, I hope I've been able to convince you and not to confuse you that there are ways to effectively sell your product. All right, my name remains Adams Oluwafemi Olajide, and thank you for sticking around. And please remember to like and subscribe if you're watching from YouTube, and if you're watching from Facebook, please share this with your friends. Okay, have a lovely weekend, and we would see, by the grace of God, next week when we would have our 81st episode. All right. See you then, and God bless.